video 3. So the next section then, we've done the drums and the bass, and they kind of sound pretty good together. I'm just going to close that down. I'm going to come back to this, but this is some processing that happened towards the end of a mix, and it was just with regards to the choruses and just making a couple of things left in the chorus. And there's one or two things on the drums I need to come back and look at the chorus. So this is where I was from like the thought process and trying to remember everything that I was doing. So then the next section I looked at with the guitars. So I'm just going to solo these sections now. And what I've done is I've got a routing folder here, and so these are actually routing out of basically this folder is acting as an auxiliary, so I can solo this. And the first section that we've got is a guitar. Of course, it's a guitar. It's on a guitar track. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I had then is like this guitar part, which is following the bass more or less. And this is almost like it's like a pulse, not like a pulsing sound, but it was just like a very, very dry, clean. I think it's a DI signal. I probably should have put like an amp sim or something on it. And so we're on 14. Let's go on 14. And let's just check. Yeah, and I've actually, what have I labelled it? Guitar following bass. So there we are, 14. So I'm using, what I've done is I've done a little bit of filtering on the EQ, and we're using an API channel, so American Class A. And this is just, this plugin's called Softube Console 1. It's my hardware controller for mixing. Absolutely love it. And I just show you, I've bypassed everything now. So it's like, and I've got, so I've got that drive quite high. So it's actually, what I'm looking at doing is driving this channel and actually using the distortion from the console. And that's similar to like some of the like Led Zeppelin distortions, where they actually, that's where they get it from. So I think it's like Black Dog might be that. So the EQ, bump in the mid-range and about 5k, and that's just how I look now. So these are in steps of 2 dBs at a time. And so if you've ever seen an API 550, they're like so the EQ that I'm actually using, I've got a plugin from Universal Audio that does the same thing. And so we've got, so quick look, 500 hertz. I got, okay, it's 550B then. No mid. Okay, so 550B, not 550A. So I've got 400, so I've done that instead. 4, and then say 5K, which is that one, at 4 as well. So that's more or less what I've done. And then low frequency, no, and we've got filters on, a filter on as well. So then I've just dialed in. So it might be more like an API Vision channel strip. So that's all I'm doing, just boosting a bit of the mid-range and a bit of the 5K, which is the bite of the guitar. And then to make it a bit more interesting, because if you have those two together, it's just like the guitar straight up the middle, the bass. So then all I've done then on top of that is pan it to a plugin called PanMan, which, as you can see, if I play it again, it follows the red dots on the plugin. Right. And it does that for the entire song. So then the other things we've got on this is on this section. So this is almost like the verse guitars. Then we've got. So then we have 60. Next one then is I'm using a lead guitar line, and I'm just boosting similar sort of areas like the mid-range and the high. All I've done is just made it a little bit brighter, and let's just take that. This is the sound of when it was recorded in. And then the other thing you can see is the panning knob has been automated as well, so it's like moving around a little bit as well. So I've done a bit of automation moving the track around. So that's the one guitar. Now the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to make a bit more space to it. So I've added like a tape delay. It's a bit more space. I'm using Echo Boy Junior, which is a Sound Toys plugin again, and all I've done is like it's on its own aux track. So that'll be here, and it's just set to follow main pan. So whatever the pan does, it sends that to Echo Boy, and this is what that sounds like together. So that's the plugin on its own. The mix, this is up full, so it's a bit wobbly. And then the other thing that I've done as well is I'm using this free plugin from Isotope, which is basically an ozone imager. And if I just show you, so 63.2. So all the ozone image is doing is actually spreading the sound of the delays, and it's putting outside, it's making it wider and outside of the stereo image, so actually giving it a bit more space and make it sound a little bit fuller. Other than that, it really isn't anything else to those guitars, so that's that part. The next bit then is we've got leading up to the chorus is another lead guitar line. I'll just switch over. And I'm not really doing much at all to this. I mean, it's sort of sitting where I wanted it to anyway, and it's like a low fill together. So this is everything together with the drums, the bass, and the intro guitar. One of the things that you notice as I'm doing that, as I'm listening to the guitar, the thing that's standing out to me the most is as soon as I take out the guitar that's following the bass line, you really, really miss it. So I'll just show you it again. Now, then we're on to the chorus. So this is a lot of sounds. So this is the chorus guitars. Some of these are in stereo, and this might have been like a Logic thing that I've just exported out as they were recorded, and I haven't actually done anything in terms of changing the sound. So I'm just gonna take them off, solo the guitars, and I'll come back to that section in a minute. So this is the, again, I'm doing the same thing. So the chorus guitars are going to this folder. No, it's not hide everything else, that'd be a bit of a pain. So there isn't really much, I'll just go through these tracks one by one. So the first thing that we had was this. Take solo off. So the first guitar that we had was DI. And what I thought is I'd use close the preset manager. So I'm using this TSE X50 plugin. It's based around the 5150, and I'm thinking what I'm actually using on it is I'm using a different amp. It's not the 5150. It's I think it's like one of the earlier versions, and so this is the plugin before. And the other thing that I've got is I've got two cab emulations on this plugin as well. So the first one that I think came up was a Beyerdynamic 160 ribbon. And then this is I think it's just like a different amp that sounded nice together. And what I've looked at doing as well is I'd probably flip the phase on one, and then just there's this delay setting, so I'll move the phase a little bit until it sounds as full as it can, and then I think I've changed the volume a bit so it fits in. So then basically I'm treating those two cab sounds together. So it's almost like blending mics together that I would on the desk. And then that, let's have a look at that, is going to channel 18. Have I done anything on this? Oh, I just put a high shelf on. So then I tried to make it a little bit brighter, and I'm just doing a little bit of compression. And that, when I was looking at doing that, I've probably looked at these three tracks together. I think they're all the same guitar line. One of the things that I remember when I was looking at these guitar parts, I just sort of one of them with these stereo tracks, something not strange, but it was something that I remember thinking about. Is like, if I unlink this all I've got here is like a channel plugin with a trim, and so if I just flip the phase on one and flip the other one, so basically means the left and right channel now out of phase with each other, and this is the only track that's soloed. So all I'm going to do is as I toggle this on and off, it'll flip the one channel out of phase with the others. This is as we're hearing it just then. Flip the phase. I remember it sounded okay. Let's take that off as well. So I remember it being out of phase, but I remember like thinking about that when I was doing it. And let's just have a look at this one. Just flip the phase and just turn it on and off then. Right. So individually, they all sound a bit crap. They all sound a bit rubbish, but like, so that's like the bite and the grit. So the other thing is on this is like what I'll normally do when I'm mixing is I'll go through and I'll just insert console 1 across all the tracks, and what we can see is I've used it on the guitar and high noises as well, which is like just harmonics and stuff, but on the two other stereo channels I've not done anything with them, so I could actually probably bypass them. Nothing's really happening with them, so it's literally I've just flip the phase or flip the gain of two, or flip the panning of two of them, and it just sounded better for whatever reason. Now the next sections, the next three we've got here. So listen to these. So with this chorus, what I'm trying to make happen is that I'm trying to get it to really, really hit in and really have a massive impact. So I'm just trying to distort the track as much as possible, and like in a different kind of way. So I'm using the Summit Audio EQ on this, which is like a valve EQ and a valve channel, and I basically just set the character to just drive the, almost like try and drive as if I was driving the valve EQ in real life. And so I've just set character to EQ and drive it. And then this Summit slow and medium compressor is almost like is Summit's version of the LA2A. So it was just like a channel. I thought just load that up and just, so it's a bit more like, a bit more intense, a bit more in your face, and that's what's happening. So just like bypass it was before. And I'm just boosting them 1K as well, so anything from 2K to 5K is quite intense from time to time. So that's why, and yeah, that's just one of the tracks. So the next one then, it's a similar thing on the next set of tracks as well. The audio recorder didn't bother changing it, so this is the next chorus channel. And this is just an SSL channel, and all I've really done is the drive. I've just driven it a bit, and I've taken the high cut, a high pass filter, just to take out some of the low end on it. So drive is almost like as you're making that channel hotter, it's like a channel-y, harmonic content that you might have from pushing a desk too hard. And the next one then as well, let's have a look at the other channel. And again, it's just pushing the mid-range of the track. So let's have a listen to all the chorus together. Good help if I actually started on the right bit. So that's a little mate who's just like running through the entire track. Put them together.